Ah, Arisen. You yet live. I suspected as much, given that your pawn still remains. One might hypothesize that your pawn is sustained by your vital essence. Or perhaps something more. In any case, we ought to apprise one another of the situation. Is there aught you would know? Ah, yes. I trust it has not escaped your notice that the end of days is upon us. After you vanished, together with the Red Dragon, the seas rose to swallow the skies. 'Twas perhaps a month from that evil day when a new calamity befell us. A host of dragons descended from the skies and fell upon the land with fang and claw. Luz the Oracle called upon me ere you arrived. As she tells it, Melve and its environs have already fallen prey to the beasts. 'Tis surely only a matter of time before the rest of the kingdom follows suit. I found the poor creature collapsed by the wayside near Batal. Recognizing your pawn, I decided to take the ailing thing into my custody. I thought it possible that the Arisen's pawn might hold the key to making sense of all this madness. Alas, try what I might, your pawn will not wake. Mayhap you will succeed where I could not. The pawn is, after all, yours to command. Indeed, then I shall take my turn. In your absence, I had hoped your pawn might yield me some information. But as you have returned, I would hear the truth from your lips. Tell me, Arisen, what became of you this past month? So, following your plunge into the sea on the dragon's back, some mysterious presence reached out to you. Could that have been the World Forged? Yet why would such a being linger in those fathomless depths? I can only speculate. And speculate I shall. This ought to prove a fruitful avenue of investigation. For that, I thank you. Now, if you can find a way to end this interminable slumber, your pawn is, of course, free to rejoin you.
Oh, Master. How long I've slept. Far too long, it seems. But worry not. Now that I am awake, I shall follow wherever you lead.
I admire your dedication, Master. 'Tis no small feat to hone one's skills so fine.
We pawns must endeavor not to fall behind.
He wishes to gaze upon a griffin firsthand.
No longer do I feel the probing gaze of the Watching One. Is this your doing, newest of the Arisen? I am he who brought the dragon low, and o'er its bones raised the proud kingdom of vermin. Despite the magnitude of my feat, I was dissatisfied and sought e'er greater heights, till at last I ruled the world entire. Thus did I come to know of the Watching One. The being by whose many eyes and ears no one or thing in this world goes unobserved. As to the purpose with which they watch, I know not. Did divine one thing. This world has lain neath the Watching One's unwavering gaze ere the dawn of its history. I despaired at this decision. fall is but a stage. Did that not render my hard-won glories, my throne astride the world, mere spectacles for the all-seeing eye to watch? Aye, 'twas all a farce, and I, the fool, exulting in my wooden crown. Do you understand, newest of the Arisen? This is why I sought to fell the Watching One. Alas, though I cut down all who seemed false, be they man or woman, human or beastman, young or old, I did not succeed. Indeed, my efforts led only to my own ruin. I was dubbed the Mad Sovereign, and by the hand of a new Arisen, consigned to this place forevermore. Yet, I can only assume that you have achieved what I could not. How else to explain the changes I sense in the world? Ah, what bitter gall that I cannot witness the outcome for myself. Falter not, newest of the Arisen. For your path is just, and fading spirit though I am, I may yet summon those who can be of aid to you.
I see you have returned, Arisen One. The Mad Sovereign has called, and so we answer. If you would save the people of this world from ruin, lead them here. For this place may chance to escape the coming destruction.
I imagine the people of this world will welcome the tidings that there is a place of refuge awaiting them.
I quite agree.
I'll not take that from you!
Pray calm yourselves, good people. I will have none of this squabbling.
So, Manella, you don't understand. This scoundrel's the one who started it.
No, you don't understand. This is no time for the people of Batal to be quarreling amongst themselves. We shan't weather this calamity unless we can recall our common purpose and unite our efforts towards it. Ah, Sir Arisen. You are returned, I see. With the world in such disarray, I could not stand to be away from my homeland. Thus did I return, to render what aid I may. I maintain order as best I can, but for every fire I extinguish, it seems 3 more are incited behind my back. But enough of my woes. What brings you here? You wish us to evacuate? Mayhap the idea merits some thought. After all, if we sit on our haunches, 'tis likely only a matter of time before we share the fate of Mel. Alas, the people of Batal are far from united in purpose at present. Should we proceed, unheeding of their divisions, I fear that our efforts would come undone ere long. With every soul at their wits' end, conflict is like to spark at the slightest provocation. As such, before we take any measures, I would have you walk amongst the people, Sir Arisen. Behold their plight with your own eyes, and should you encounter any discord, pray do aught you can to resolve the people's quarrels and assuage their fears. Such efforts will doubtless allow the evacuation to proceed all the more smoothly. As for me, my work here is far from done. Let us part ways for now, and reconvene when you have accomplished all you can.
Flared tempers are understandable given the circumstances. Let us aid in mediating the quarrels arising in Batal.
How dare you!
You've pushed your luck too far. Haven't you had enough yet?
As for me,
You'll get what's coming to you.
That's quite a...
Haven't you had enough yet? You fond of those eyes? Keep them to yourself. What's your problem?
Stand and fight, you gutless wonder.
Speak to me another...
Now's your chance!
We're not to talk during...
Steel yourself!
I haven't got a clue.
Would that I could shed my cares.
Haven't you had enough yet?
You're the one who started.
We meet again. What brings you here today, cuz? Listen, I could use your help with something. Another time, perhaps. Fancy meeting you here. I will not pass up.
The so-called Forbidden Magic Research Lab appears to have been constructed rather recently.
Indeed. And the researchers employed...
I've had well enough of your nitpicking.
I reckon the world would be better off without you.
Oi, you! Don't go poking your nose in our business.
Aye, leave off or we'll...
I've wares aplenty.
Have you lost your bloody mind?
Reckon you can just cut us down in the street? What's the matter with you? Hey? Fine. We'll set our squabble aside.
10 times stronger than I'll ever be.
Not on your life.
Impudent little...
Now here's the welcome sight.
That's it. I've had enough.
Oi, get back here!
Once. I see no obvious...
Feast your eyes on this! Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements. Hold fast. I shan't allow any further harm to come to you.
We're done for. Oh, not take that.
This is...
No sense in fighting a lost battle. Well met.
Oi! I saw it first.
Why must I share with a fangless one? This is no more your food than Batal is your land.
Interested in my wares?
You're just riding on your
You slander my honor, sir! I demand a duel. This is no business of yours. Be gone!
Now, Nara, let's not be too hasty. If we are to duel, we ought to have a wit. Otherwise, who's to say the victor fought with honor?
Aye, true enough. Without a witness, either of us could simply kill the other, then disavow the use of any underhandedness. Well, sir, what say you? Will you watch over us while I take this scoundrel to task? This knave dared to slight my honor. He said my swordsmanship was hardly fit to wound a training dummy. The bloody nerve of him.
And I'd say it again. 'Twas your dear father's patronage that made you a sentinel, not your own skill.
You have my gratitude, sir. Let us delay no further. Come, Scario. Prepare yourself.
Have at you! We're still in the fight!
Stop shaking.
Fight well, for the heavens are watching.
10 times stronger than I'll ever be.
Fight well, For the heavens are watching. Have courage. You can prevail. Goodness.
I admit it. I underestimated your skill. The loss is mine.
Nay. 'Twas I who underestimated you. I'd thought to score an easy victory, but you fought fair and capably.
We owe you a debt, sir. 'Tis on your account that we've seen some sense. Were it not for your timely appearance, I'd wager this nonsense might have cost one of us their life.
Indeed. Better to hone our respective skills than take up arms against petty slights, I say.
Seems some things can only be resolved by crossing blades. But I doubt they'll quarrel again after this.
'Twas a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
Tedium's a kind of work's work.
To try to enjoy life where and when I can. Did you want something?
Look around if you must, but be sure to buy all.
Something good will come of today. I just know it.
You there! You couldn't have come at a better... Put this upstart in his place for me, won't you? Go on, lay into him. If that's what you think, why don't you mind your own...
Aye, clear off. Pretty words shan't fill our bellies.
How dare you? You'll get what's coming to you.
Hi, what brings you here?
You said it's bad to hurt people. Please, let this be a bad dream.
Oi, leave my kid alone.
What's that you've got? Why, 'tis half rotten. Do you mean to poison my...
I say we call a truce while we put paid to this scoundrel.
Aye, agreed. A menace like this oughtn't be left to roam the streets.
I want to run, but the legs...
Fie, that hurts! We're done for. I ne'er stood a chance.
Things appear to have quietened down around the city. Shall we bring word of our doings to Sir Manella?
Right you are.
Just tell me what you need, and I'll see it. Done. Come again when you've more coin.
Come on.
Ah, Sir Arisen. In less pressing circumstances, I would take issue with your methods. But I cannot deny your efficacy. The people of Batal are beginning to see that they must stand together if they are to survive this calamity. We shall see the fruits of your labors when the time comes to evacuate. At the very least, We need not expect too much opposition to the announcement. Pray, return to Empress Nadinia and apprise her of your doings. I must remain here to ensure heavens only know how many lives you have saved this day. I hope you'll accept this humble reward for your efforts.
What say we report back to Empress Nadinia? Her Majesty ought be willing to commence the evacuation now.
By your leave.
Lost track of time. This place is too comfortable.
Her Majesty has begun her supplications. None may see her ere they conclude.
Stay your hand, Vera. This one may pass. Come hither. We would speak with you. One of our ministers informs us that you have been espied in the city, resolving the people's troubles. You have our gratitude for your efforts, which have doubtless bettered the fate of this nation and its citizenry. Your journey continues, does it not?
We would pray excuse the interruption, Your Majesty, but I fear time is upon us. I would see you prepared for the road ahead.
Indeed. Forgive us, but we must take our leave. Farewell.
Bagbatal and the rest down are now safely evacuated. I'm certain we can rely upon Sir Manella to keep the peace.
A result to be proud of.
Your Majesty. How glad I am to see you safe. Where have you been this past month? The end of the world? Are things truly so dire? Though, I am aware of the dragon attack on Melv. We received word that naught but a smoking ruin remains. 'Twas a tragedy, and I would not see it repeated. However, without a clear path, we in the Guard shall be hard-pressed to forestall the impending crisis. You would have me evacuate the city? I see. Mayhap 'twould be for the best. Ever since the fall of Melv, the citizens of Vernworth have lived in fear that their homes are next to be assailed. If there is safe harbor to be found elsewhere, I believe we have naught to lose by seeking sanctuary. But I doubt I could convince the people of this city to abandon their homes, however terrified they may be. Methinks Your Majesty would do better to ask this of the Regent King. After the false sovereign vanished and the world was altered, His Grace has been the one keeping order here in Vermont. If the people will heed anyone, 'tis him.
'Tis admirable how Regent King Sven has taken up command of the kingdom. We would be remiss not to offer him our aid.
Understood. Mayhap you will think this a trifle, but I did not take to being a mage straight away. It was some time before I managed to wrangle my spells under control. Now
We shall wait here till your business is done.
So you've come. I'm glad to see you. Captain Brandt has already apprised me of your proposal, a full-scale evacuation of the citizenry. Truth be told, I had reached the same conclusion. So long as we cower within these walls, we must live in fear of going the way of Melv. My ministers have approved the plans, and I have petitioned the encampment survivors and the Thieves' Guild for aid. The only remaining obstacle is my mother. She has set herself stubbornly against any such flight. I have tried to make her see reason, but of late she has taken to shutting herself in her chambers. However, I fear that my position permits me to entertain her fancy no longer. I must put the needs of the common folk before her selfish whims. Now, there are a few matters I must attend to before we can evacuate, and I would fain welcome your assistance. We will require several ox carts to carry the sick and aged out of the city. Might I prevail upon you to petition the merchant at the ox cart station in the west of the city for their use? You may assure him that the royal treasury will foot any and all expenses.
Queen Regent Disa hardly leaves her chambers, and all her meals come back scarcely touched. Between you and me, I fear for her health. Queen Regent Disa hardly leaves her chambers, and all her meals between you and me, I fear.
Have you come to claim my life, Arisen? Well, far be it from me to deny you. But I shall go to the grave with a smile on my lips, for I have no regrets. All I did for my darling son. So do as you will. I have no intention of begging for mercy. The throne and its powers hold no meaning in a broken world. The throne and its powers hold no meaning.
I have been waiting for you, Arisen.
I'd sooner stay out of the back.
As long as I get my gold, who takes the carts is no concern of mine. His Grace is welcome to them.
We have chartered the ox carts as requested. 'Tis a pleasant change for things to go so smoothly, eh, Master?
I concur.
I must be vigilant. The townspeople depend on me.
Have no fear, Master. I'll fare all right without you for a little while.
'Tis not our place to hurry the Arisen.
Mother, I must beg your forgiveness. I believed that you desired to make me sovereign solely for your own benefit. Yet in truth, you sought to better the lot of our people.
Ah, but I would have benefited. And handsomely at that. Besides, I cannot deny that I was proud. I wished to see my own son on the throne, and no other.
Even so, I cannot help but feel that all of this could have been avoided. Had I only been more attentive, if I had but better known your heart, I could have shared in your burdens. You would not have had to suffer alone, and perhaps together, we could have walked a better path.
Oh, Sven.
Mother, I beg you, join the evacuation. You need not fall with this city. I would not see you take your crimes wholly on your own shoulders. That weight is as much mine to bear as 'tis yours.
My son, you truly would make a fine and goodly ruler. Your kindness will save many lives. Of that I have no doubt.
Ah, you've returned. How fares your procurement of those carts? You do? My thanks. That puts paid to the last of our preparations. I will inform the citizenry forthwith.
You have my gratitude.
I fear for the Arbor. Yet it would seem there is far more at stake here.
My friend, how glad I am to see you yet live. When word reached me of your uncanny disappearance, I admit I feared the worst. What has become of this world? Our people fear for the future. We cannot be sure we will be safe here, yet this place is all we know. All we have. You think we need to evacuate? I see. And you know of a place where we might find refuge? I should gladly follow you, but I fear my father will not be so easily persuaded. Nonetheless, we can but try. Come.
Salva Arinfa, Alecano Nanderi.
Findelnar, ne veo norwende lis kemen, moriven lis irumar meltol netara.
Kasinke telpi nun findaler, nun mor arta her. Karilm ilmen arkael, silfa nambawe nun kalael alame, angadur sindi.
Mornambwe roth enfane ava silmines fana. Erurne kemen malantar ingadur, fielis lintan morivin nun we ingarina?
Kemenindor kanyan irils aldekar. Eteler lea fermor eldalia eralotte. Ondvana alvekil eteler ne anler ailame.
I am afraid my father has closed his heart so tightly that even my words cannot reach him. If only the Arbor heart were restored to health, perhaps he might be persuaded.
Lungtena peli telume, ane martir, tindume ingarina fa alme alcarwa?
I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
We ought to take a closer look.
Elelote osto silfa malantha alecano mine in fair avehum.
We must rest. Though this...
I feel refreshed and ready for a new day.
There is naught more you can achieve here, Arisen. The time for resistance is long past.
Materials, eh?
Yavtarma erume.
Fionar elwe arfarne nenwen sur orne. Alcarwa fir nun eldaya menelume sur carilm. Vanelin huror soron. Sorne an fameltor. Nullis amanda kill angadur femor. Anendune falumtena. Nun falesmir anamortis.
We've made it then. What's our first order of business, Arisen?
I must needs have poise. Everyone's as tired as I am.
The Batali Knights use this place to train. You're not one of us, so I cannot imagine you've any business being here. Pray, leave us in peace. Oh? You believe we ought to evacuate? Well, you traveled far indeed to deliver these tidings. Farther, I dare say, than anyone would go for the sake of an idle jest. If we must leave, we shall have to begin preparations at once. But I think we're a bit short on hands to attend to all that must be done. In fact, there's a rather delicate matter that I could use some help with. A blacksmith and his wife dwell on the encampment outskirts. Might you escort them here, so that they can join the evacuation? The smith, Gustava, is a man of good sense. But as for his wife, well, suffice to say, Cleuna has always been a contentious sort. She'd have naught to do with us, given the choice, and isn't likely to take kindly to the arrival of any of my knights on her doorstep. I can only hope that she will be more willing to listen to you, a third party, as 'twere. And while you're taking care of that, I will see to it that the encampment is made ready to depart with all due haste.
Ah, I remember the blacksmith and his lady wife well. I only hope we can convince them to join the evacuation.
Right you are.
Well now, whatever brings you here? These are perilous times to be wandering about. You'd have us evacuate with the encampment? I am touched by your kindness, friend, but we'll manage on our own. I couldn't bear to be pressed in among those crowds.
Now, I'll hear none of that. I'll see you to safety, my dear, come hell or high water. Besides, I should hope this good soul has earned your trust by now. Helped me out of a tight spot on more than one occasion, if you'll recall. After all that goodwill and the long trek out here to warn us, we'd seem mighty ungrateful, turning our back on another helping hand extended only in kindness.
Oh, very well, my love, if you insist. It seems we'll be accepting your offer after all, friend. Would you be so kind as to escort us to our destination?
Let us see our charges to the encampment. But be mindful.
Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements.
Our foe is repelled by some miracle. Now this region shall be safe. At least for the time being.
That was superb, Arisen. In another world, I learned that a forgotten riftstone lies nearby. Shall I escort you there, Master?
out undead, Arisen.
Holy attacks will serve us well here.
I knew you would prevail, Master.
Hear the force, thrower. Our foe is not surrounded.
Outstanding.
I will finish this, here and now. Discovering what those clouds truly are may well be the key to everything.
There must be a way to force them to recede. There must.
First assess the field, then act accordingly.
Well, here we are. How long before the evacuation begins, I wonder?
Would you find Ser Ernesto and tell him we've arrived? Let him know that we'll wait here till the time comes.
A well-organized pack is my speciality. I'll see...
Sir, I implore you to reconsider. Surely you can see that the situation is dire.
How many times must I say it? I'll not be ordered about. Not by ye, not by anyone. Now bugger off and leave me alone.
Ah, good. You're back. I'm afraid there's another matter for which I must beg your assistance. It concerns the fellow I was just speaking with. Sir Lamond, his name is. The man's something of a regular at our hot springs. I sought him out to tell him of the evacuation, but he has flatly refused to join us. I must confess, I'm at a loss as to how I might convince him. Could I prevail upon you to try your hand? At this point, methinks anything I say will fall on deaf ears.
Perhaps we might speak with this Sir Lamond. The evacuation effort stands to benefit from another pair of hands.
I am well aware of the particulars.
Aye? What would ye of me? Not this again. I'm here to live my life as I see fit. I'll not be ordered about by anyone, cuz. You got that? Aye. I know those two. Good people. But I don't see why I should have to be the one responsible for them. Why don't ye do it, if they mean so much to ye? Oi, I heard out ye request. Kindly bugger off and leave me in peace.
Sir Lamond has refused to lend his aid, and it seems there's little hope of changing his mind. Let us inform Sir Ernesto.
A disappointment, to be sure.
So, Sir Lamond is not to be convinced. 'Twould have eased my mind to have him join us, but I suppose there's naught to be done. The hour of our departure is almost upon us. 'Twill be slow going, no doubt. We have wounded whom we must accommodate. Yet, come what may, I swear to see them all to safe harbor.
The people of Volcanic Island are evacuated. May they make it through the impending chaos in time.
Victory! Thank you, friend. I dread to think what might have become of me had you not happened along when you did. This place does not have long left, I fear. We ought to get to safety, though I have to wonder if anywhere is safe now. I'd gladly accompany you, believe me. But the others here? Well, suffice to say, they won't be able to join us. Follow me. You'll see what I mean.
I'll pick that up. We might have need of it.
Tis a jail of sorts, this place. A compound where we set captured pawns to work. They were supposed to be digging up old ruins or some such. I confess, I don't know all of the ins and outs of the operation. Underlings like myself were given orders, and little else, you see. Well, here you have it. They've been like this for a month straight now. They refuse to leave. You might as well try talking to a wall. You'd have more luck. I know they don't die like we do, but it seems cruel to abandon them here, all the same. I never wanted to be here, you know, taking part in all of this. The enslavement of pawns doesn't sit well with me. I suppose that's why I can't bring myself to leave them behind. Either that, or the current state of the world helps to put things in perspective. At any rate, I've tried everything I can think of to get them out, but naught's done any good. I'm at rather a loss.
The command came a month ago or more. We are to remain here, and so we remain.
I implore you, Arisen. Take me with you.
So they're staying here because they were ordered to remain. And they told you that, did they? Strange. I couldn't get a word out of them. I wonder why they saw fit to speak with you. But never mind that. More importantly, you've given me an inkling of the problem at hand. It was the Overseer's doing, methinks. When the world changed, that craven up and ran for his life. But on his way out, he used that artifact they call the God's Way to command the pawns to protect him. I expect that order of his is what the pawns were referring to. But why would they continue to obey when the man is long gone? Unless... Listen, friend. I've a thought. What say you have a look around and see what you can turn up? If the Overseer's command is indeed still in effect, it could be that he is lurking somewhere not far from here. Use that key to have a look around. It should open any doors you come across. Best keep your eyes peeled for the Overseer as well. I have a feeling he's still lurking about here somewhere.
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it? A door of sturdy make. It will be impossible without the key.
We shall have to find the key then. The clouds have already swallowed so much of this world.
Is there no way to prevent this fate?
Well met, sir. How's the day treating you then?
So, the pawns were being held here by the power of this God's Way. Now they ought be free to make good their escape.
Splendid.
So, there was naught left of the Overseer but bones, eh? I'll wager he thought to take the pawns with him to the grave. He always was a spiteful old goat. At any rate, I'm well grateful for your aid, friend. Now that the pawns are on their feet, methinks I can get them to safety. I only hope they'll heed my words as they have yours. But I'm not worried. I'll find a way to reach them in time, no doubt. My word! Isn't this the God's way? With this, I'll be able to guide the pawns to the refuge without delay. Now there's no chance of any of them being left behind. Seems I've no end of things to thank you for, my friend. I appreciate all you've done here. I'll get the pawn...
'Tis strange to think a god's sway would be used to guide my brethren to safety. After all the woe they have caused us.
Outstanding.